1 mile to target.
Now you will remember to take the lens cap off this time.
Hey, you steer the plane, Captain, and I'll take the pictures. 900 yards. 800 yards.
This flak's getting heavier. We'll only be able to make one pass.
300 yards. 200 yards. Okay, Fritz. Nice big smile now.
Rudder's gone. Pitch control's gone.
I'm gonna throw up.
Save it for the crowds, JD. She's going down.
Hände hoch! Drop your weapon, American!
Easy, Hans. Jackets like this don't come cheap.
Good afternoon, Captain. So good of you to drop in.
Good to see you crowds haven't lost your famous sense of humor.
I think you will find us agreeable hosts, Captain, so long as you, how do you Americans say, keep your noses out of trouble. Now, we have just 3 rules in this camp.
Oh?
Rule 1. You attend roll call every morning and evening. If you fail to report as required, or you enter an illegal area at any time, the guards will find you and punish you. Rule 2. You stay clear of the perimeter fence at all times. The guards have orders to shoot prisoners who stray over the line on the ground.
And Rule 3?
Rule 3, Captain, is that you obey all the rules.
I should have guessed. And say I don't like your rules.
Oh, I think you will grow to like them, Captain. A day or two of solitary confinement should see to that. We saw your plane go down, sir. Are you okay?
Well, I don't figure I'll be sitting down again in a while. Say, has a guy named JD been brought in here?
No, sir. Maybe they've already taken him to Stalag Luft. That's where we're all headed eventually.
Oh yeah? Speak for yourself.
Look, sir, if you ask me, you'd be best off staying out of trouble for now. Fall in with the other prisoners. Get to know the routine. And you might want to drop your kit bag off in Barrack 1. Anyway, gotta see a fellow about some cigarettes. See you later.
Barrack 1, huh? Now, where'd that be?
You there! Fall in with the other prisoners and report to the mess hall for evening meal. Schnell!
Can't hang about, sir. Guards around. But I thought this might come in handy.
Boot polish? I appreciate the sentiment, Sergeant, but I've always been a suede man.
No, sir. It's for your face. Help you sneak about at night, see? Use a mirror to make sure you don't miss anywhere.
Well, thanks, I guess. I'll stash it in my hiding place for now.
There's one more thing, sir. I bribed one of the guards with that currency you gave me. He'll slip me anything Jerry confiscates from the prisoners. So, if you happen to have a run-in with the guards, come and find me, and I'll see what I can do.
I'll do that, Sergeant. You sleep well now.
Good morning, gentlemen. I am delighted to see you all so eager to face the day. This...
Hey, hands off, Wolfgang. Didn't they teach you any manners in kindergarten? Watch where you're treading those jackboots.
How nice! Another American airman! Surely you did not think you could evade the Reich for long, Lieutenant.
Hey, buddy! I was beginning to figure they plowed you into the fatherland.
Not me. I managed to give the search party the slip. But then, Well, did you get a load of the local dames?
JD, don't tell me.
Let's just say I decided to lay low for a while. But it turns out this Fräulein's pop is some big shot general around here. Doesn't take too kindly to my line of international relations. Next thing I know, the goon squad shows up. Say, you planning on sticking around here?
Nope. You?
Nope. And I'll tell you what, they brought me in here the long way round, and it looks like part of this camp's a truck compound. Some kind of long-haul stop-off point.
Oh, yeah?
I figure if we could stow away on one of those trucks, we could be home for Christmas.
Sorry to butt in, but I couldn't help overhearing. You're not the first prisoners to take an interest in those trucks, and the Krauts know it. They've made sure the only way into that compound's through the driver's quarters, and they keep the door to that padlocked.
Crowbar?
Crowbar.
You'll be lucky. The guards keep all their tools locked in a store in the northwest of the camp.
Then all we need's the key to the store.
What are the chances we'll find one lying around the Krauts barracks? These are German guards we're talking about.
Okay, here's the deal. I'll distract the guards during morning exercise while you sneak in and look for a key. Just let me know when you're ready to move.
JD, I always said we made a beautiful team. So we can get into that tool store now, but sneaking past the guards could be tough.
Tough, yes. Impossible? No.
No?
In fact, your good buddy JD did a dry run earlier, and I'll tell you how.
I'm all ears.
Looks like at some point a truck hit the surrounding wall, and the Krauts haven't gotten around to patching up the hole.
That's where you got through?
Sure did. Had to crouch down a little and keep an eye on the guard tower.
Any patrols?
2, but they tend to stop off for a chat each time they meet, so I slip past then.
Simple as that, huh?
Almost. There's one other guy patrolling around the store. Had to duck behind some logs to avoid that fella.
JD, you're good, but I'm better. Bet I could do it in half the time.
All right, let's go hitch a ride out of here.
No, not yet. We'll wait till tonight when the truckers are asleep.
You pulling rank on me again?
And we'll go separately. No sense in both of us getting shot if it don't work out. I'll make my move first. You follow when I'm through their quarters and into the compound. I'll find a truck and hide in the back.
And I'll bring the biscuits.
Sleeping like babies. Gonna have to move real slow or I might wake 'em. Glad you can make it.
I couldn't have you taking all the glory back at home.
We're not out of the woods yet. Better get comfortable. It's gonna be a long night. Better keep low, Lieutenant. Looks like we're on our way.
Reckon the driver would stop for my Fräulein on the way?
I don't know. She got a sister?
You idiot! I should have you shot for this outrage. Do you know who I am?
General, I am sorry. Your car, the road, it was my fault entirely.
Of course it was your fault. You'll be digging trenches on the Russian front before the month is out.
That's it. We've blown it. I knew this was too good to be true.
Sit tight, Lieutenant. We'll probably be on the move again soon.
No. No, I'm gonna make a break for it. There's a forest nearby. If we can make it to the woods, we can hide out till things settle down.
JT! Don't be an idiot! JT!
Halt! Halt!
JT.
Make sure the other American is dead. This prisoner will be transferred immediately. You will not find security so lax at Stalag Luft, Captain.
You the barrack officer?
Absolutely. Wing Commander Temple Smithson. And there's no need to introduce yourself, Captain Stone. We've heard all about the show you put on at the holding camp. Gather you lost a chap. Rotten luck.
Luck. I had the chance to stop him and I didn't.
Best not to blame yourself, old fellow. Jerry's the one to point the finger at, and you're bound to get a chance to hit back at him.
You can count on it. I don't plan on making this a long stay.
Ah, indeed. Good show. Now, you're quartered in Barrack 2. The chaps there should make you welcome. That'll be all. Actually, Stone, why don't you come and see me once you're settled in? We might be able to help each other out. Ah, good of you to drop in, Captain. Perhaps you've met Major Nikolai Radke of the Polish Army. The Major heads up our escape committee. Captain Stone might make a valuable addition to the team, wouldn't you say, Major?
I wish I could share your faith in human nature, sir. But experience has taught me to make new friends with caution.
Welcoming as ever, eh, Radke? Then how about setting Stone a little test?
Just like being back in high school.
Very well. Captain, we will have a tape placed in your hiding place in Barrack 2. You are tasked with taking it to the administration building and playing it over the camp's address system.
Just a little wheeze to lift the chap's spirits, and get one over on Jerry to boot.
That's all? Then I'm in.
Should you experience difficulties, you are free to consult us at any time. If the wing commander has judged you correctly, that should not be necessary. Dismissed. As I'm sure you will be aware, Captain, the administration office containing the address system lies to the north of the mess hall. A fence separates the two. Our scout has established that a guard patrols outside the office. This may complicate your ingress. Now go, Captain. Let us see if the wing commander has assessed you correctly. Captain, you might be advised to slip out of the mess hall during mealtime. You will then be able to slip around the back to the administration office. Our scout surveyed the guard's patrol pattern by watching through the fence. He believes it would be possible to climb over the fence unseen at the moment the guard is inside the administration office. It would then, of course, be necessary to hide before the guard re-emerged. And a final word of advice, Captain. A guard tower lies nearby. You would be advised to keep your distance from it. Our scout has succeeded where you appear to be failing, Captain. After climbing the fence, he hid behind a pile of timber by the administration office, thus avoiding being seen as the guard emerged from the building. He then hit upon the idea of throwing stones at some barrels. This unsettled the guard, who went off to check the perimeter of the building, allowing our men to approach the office door. At this point, the scout had to retrace his steps lest he be caught, but he did first catch a glimpse through the door of the tape machine at the far end of the building. A man risked his life for this information, Captain. I hope you make good use of it.
Oberjäger, what is the meaning of this?
My apologies, Herr Commandant. It must have been one of the prisoners.
I don't want your excuses, Oberjäger. I want that noise stopped now. And if a prisoner was responsible, I want that prisoner found and halt. Going somewhere, Colonel? I thought you looked like trouble. Oberjäger, lock this man up.
The get back to the escape committee for a pat on the back.
Jolly good work with the tape, old boy. I haven't seen the chap so happy in months. But there's been a hitch. You see, your prank was actually a ruse to distract Jerry while one of our boys swiped some documents from the Commandant's office. But he wasn't quite careful enough.
Or somebody tipped off the guards.
Not the trusting type, are you, Major? But I'm feeling generous, so I'll tell you what. Leave it to me. I'll have those papers on your desk in no time.
Good show, Stone. That's the spirit. But you might find it easier if you go in undercover. See if you can get your hands on a German uniform. Sniffing around Jerry's huts would be your best bet. Although, some of them may well be locked. Major, any chance of rustling up a key?
I will have one placed in the captain's hiding place in Barrack 2.
I'm touched, Major. I didn't know you cared.
You will already know, of course, that the Commandant's building lies to the east of the mess hall. The scout we sent noted several guards patrolling around the building, including a lieutenant. Approaching the building, he was able to see the Commandant's desk through his office window on the ground floor. As we expected, the plans were on the desk, but the Commandant was present with a guard, making it impossible to get any closer. The first thing I learned during my escape from occupied Warsaw, Captain, was the value of convincing the skies. So, on your behalf, I sent a man to locate the source of German uniforms. In fact, he found two. The laundry to the east of our compound, and the store to the west. However, both buildings are kept locked. To enter them, you will require a brass key. Should you have misplaced the one we provided you with, a replacement may be found on the wall of the mess hall kitchen. Captain, while you have been making small talk with the other prisoners, one of my men has gained entry to the Commandant's building with ease. He reports that there is a drain pipe leading up to the balcony. Having reached the balcony, he proceeded through the bedroom and down the stairs to the Commandant's office. He could have taken the plans himself, but for the presence of the Commandant and a guard. He reports that a more intrepid operative might find temporary cover behind a bookcase just inside the doorway. From there, one should be able to await a chance to take the plans.
It's as we suspected, Wing Commander. Jerry's using this camp as a cover for a weapons research facility. Looks like they're assembling a long-range rocket. A rocket that could strike at virtually any city in the world.
Good God! Right under our noses. No wonder they bunged you in the cooler for snooping around. Any idea how far they've got?
This schedule suggests they could begin testing as early as this winter. What's this man doing here? This is a British operation.
Well, not any longer, Colonel.
I beg your pardon? What's your name, Airman?
Most remiss of me, Colonel. This is Captain Stone of the United States Air Force. He retrieved the plans after your, unfortunate encounter. Colonel Harding here reports to the Special Operations Executive in London.
Lucky them.
Captain, I suggest you watch your...
Hello?
It's General Stahl.
Stahl? He's bad news. We'll have to move fast. Major, did your radio boys get that transmitter up and running?
Just about, sir.
Good. We simply must fill in Whitehall. And while you're at it, have one of the chaps make a copy of these plans. Better safe than sorry.
Good morning, gentlemen. I am pleased to see that, as usual, you are all...
Thank you, Herr Commandant. I will take over from here.
But, General...
Dismissed, Commandant. It appears that a few of you have seen fit to abuse the Reich's more than generous hospitality. Some of my personal documents have been stolen, an act which will not go unpunished. Guards, search the compound.
Sir, we have them!
Commandant, this time you have been fortunate. The prisoner responsible will be transferred immediately to Colditz. Let us see if he finds the cold confines of the castle a more fitting place to see out the war. Let this be a lesson to you all, gentlemen. Double camp security and halve the prisoners' food rations. There will be no further transgressions.
Can the transmitter be patched up, Major?
I am afraid not, sir. We are off the air permanently, but at least the guards failed to find a copy of the plans we made. Perhaps we could smuggle him back to London through the, you-know-what.
The tunnel?
Sir, we cannot afford another betrayal.
Oh, calm down, Major. I think we can trust our American friend by now. In fact, look, Stone, it's like this. Some of the men have been working on a tunnel in preparation for a mass escape. What say you tag along and take the plans with you?
You bet. I got a score to settle with this General Stahl. And I'll bet he'll have a real bad day once the bigwigs back in London find out what he's up to.
Very well. But ventilation in the tunnel is still insufficient. We require something to drive the air pump. A set of bellows would be ideal. Perhaps you would be so kind as to fetch some for us, Captain. We have established that a set of bellows is located in the mess hall kitchen. These would be sufficient to drive the tunnel air pump. However, the chef does not take kindly to intruders in his kitchen, and he is not a man to be trifled with. Trifled with. I must make a note of that. Our scout found a crowbar inside a tent in the construction compound. He would have retreated, but for just 50 currency, he decided the risk of another night in the cooler was too great. Were you able to obtain the crowbar, it would be invaluable for opening doors that are not firmly braced. We have spent some time scrutinizing the chef's routine. After preparing the prisoner's meal, he goes to cook for the commandant, something rather better than we are served, I would imagine. This would be an appropriate time to return to the mess hall. The main door is guarded, however, so it would be advisable to find a way in at the rear of the building, to enter the kitchen, and then escape unseen with the bellows. So you found some bellows. Perhaps I underestimated you, Captain. Sir, the pump should be operational shortly. Should I give the order to proceed?
Rather, we go tonight. Blast! I was afraid this might happen. Must be all the rain we've had lately. If only we had more time to reinforce the tunnel. Bloody miracle no one was killed. Is the tunnel a complete write-off, Major?
I'm afraid so, sir. But there is another possibility. We believe the entrance to an abandoned tunnel lies inside a building in the northwest of the camp, within what has now become the vehicle compound.
Ha-ha! If it's still serviceable, then it could just be the ticket. Prepared to give it another shot, Stone?
You can count on it.
I will have one of the men stitch the plans into your trousers, in case you are captured. Good luck, Captain.
And Godspeed.
Close scrutiny of the vehicle compound by our scouts revealed a hitherto unknown entry point. It consists of a hole in the wall, uncovered while the Germans have been moving materials into the construction compound. Use it carefully, Captain. It would be unfortunate if the Germans were to discover this flaw in their security. The building in the vehicle compound, likely to contain the tunnel entrance, will most probably be sealed off. If this is the case, the doors may only be opened by force. However, if you carry a crowbar to the compound, you are likely to be apprehended en route. But your currency has yielded some interesting information, Captain. I had some of the more long-term inmates interviewed about the previous layout of the camp. One particular prisoner recalls having hidden a crowbar in the area concerned. He was unable to return for it after the area was sealed off. Be sure to exercise caution when retrieving it. The compound is heavily patrolled. The other prisoners are beginning to tire of our constant interrogation, Captain. So I hope you meet with success soon. By chance, however, we have discovered that one of the prisoners here was involved in the building of the original tunnel. He was able to pinpoint the room containing the tunnel entrance. If you use a crowbar on the door, be sure to do it out of earshot of the patrolling guards. The tunnel entrance will be concealed within the central room. The prisoner assured me that the quality of the workmanship was high, so the tunnel is likely to have remained fully operational.
Sorry I didn't stop to settle the check, guys. London's calling.
If you are a Dutch worker, then where is your work permit?
It's in my other trousers, okay? Geez, guys, lighten up a little.
This must be the escaped prisoner, Helmut.
Come with us!
Captain Stone, your description hardly does you justice. Now, let us return you to captivity.
Why not save yourselves the trouble? Stalag Luft leaks like a sieve.
Stalag Luft? Oh no, Captain. Following your futile attempt to elude the Reich, you are to become an honored guest of its most secure fortress, Colditz.
Oh, Lieutenant, when we searched the prisoner, we found a few items. Mainly a few pieces of contraband and some personal papers which were stitched to his trousers.
What sort of papers?
Just some drawings of, I think, a space rocket. Perhaps our American captain dreams of becoming a spaceman. Should we sign the items over to Colditz?
Burn them. We will spare ourselves the paperwork.
Thanks, boys. You'll understand if I don't give you a tip. Anybody home?
Welcome. The Colditz guards have no manners, so you must forgive me introducing myself. Group Captain Henri Dubois, the barrack officer at Colditz.
Enchanté, I'm sure. My name's Stone.
And I'm Major William Kingsley, escape officer. Although that's very much an honorary title here in the castle. It's a pretty tight ship. Tricky place to slip out of.
That's what they said about Stalag Luft.
Ah, you have already been involved in an escape. Then you are lucky you have not found yourself among the unluckier inmates of Colditz.
Some of the chaps here are confined to a separate set of barracks known as Prisoner Barracks B. Only time we ever see them's during meal times, roll call, and exercise.
I don't suppose one of them's a stiff named Harding.
Colonel Harding's a friend of yours.
I wouldn't say that exactly, but I need to talk to him. It's kind of urgent.
Won't be easy. Jerry's taken a particular dislike to Harding for some reason and put him under 24-hour watch. The poor chap's followed around everywhere by his own personal guard. We haven't been able to get near him.
Major, given that the escape committee has at the moment rather a lot of spare time, perhaps we could offer our help to Captain Stone.
Don't see why not. Feel free to look us up if you need a hand, Captain. And meanwhile, the best of luck to you.
I am warning you, Schliemann. If prisoner Harding causes any more trouble on your watch, I will hold you personally responsible. I am sure you are aware just how cold it is on the Russian front at this time of year.
I will not let him out of my sight, Herr Commandant.
Excellent! I see I have trained the guards well.
Right, Stone. We've had a fellow sniff around Barrack B. He's established that Colonel Harding is being held in a room at the end of the corridor, past the end of the barracks. Security's tight, and there's a guard posted in a second room in between Harding's and the corridor. Harding is confined to his room at all times, except during meals and roll calls. We've had a little chat with some of the other prisoners, Stone, and we've discovered a potential route to Barrack B via the library. It's kept locked, of course, so you'll need to pick the lock. Once you're in, you'll be able to get out on the rooftops through the window, watching out for guards, of course. Once you've made your way across the rooftops, you'll need to go down a corridor and into the theater. Here, you'll need to be especially wary of guards, as Jerry's currently doing a sweep for escape routes. But with a bit of luck, they won't have spotted the hatch in the stage that'll let you drop down into Barrack B. I have to say you're stretching our resources rather, Stone, but we've located a chap who's found a rather quicker route to Barrack B. Bit reluctant to reveal the secret, but your currency soon persuaded him. The route involved going through the theater as before, but you can cut out all that malarkey in the library by using a door that leads directly off Prisoner Courtyard West. You'll need to pick the lock, so you might be better off waiting till free time and getting someone like Williams, Logan, or Berratti to occupy the guards' attention. Then you should be able to proceed up the stairs and into the theater, where you'll be able to reach that hatch. Now, you'd be strongly advised to leave the actual infiltration of the barracks till a mealtime. That way you'll be able to slip into Harding's room while he and his guard are away, and you'll be waiting for him when he gets back.
Patrols are to be doubled. The entire castle will be searched twice daily. All leave is cancelled.
But Herr Commandant,
With no exceptions. We cannot afford any further lapses of security. If there is the merest hint of an escape attempt during General Stahl's visit to Colditz, we will all become fodder for the Bolshevik tanks, myself included.
yes, Herr Commandant.
I find this as painful as you, Lieutenant. Another week passes and still I do not gaze into the sweet brown eyes of my little dachshund Otto.
You heard the Commandant. Search the castle. Im Laufschritt.
Brought you some fresh towels, sir. Would you like your bed turned down?
You look familiar. Sloane, wasn't it?
Stone.
Shouldn't you be in London with those blueprints by now?
Change of plan. Decided I'm kind of partial to life behind bars.
Good God! You've turned this whole operation into a farce.
Hey, pal. If it wasn't for me, those plans would still be on General Stahl's desk.
And where are they now?
Probably on General Stahl's desk. I got patted down on the way in.
Unbelievable. Well, even if we still have the plans, there's no way they'd reach Whitehall in time. Damn. There's nothing else for it. I'm going to have to get back to Stalaglüft and decommission that rocket myself.
Break into a prison camp? I like that.
Now, out of my way. I've got to get cracking.
What, with your new pal out there watching your every move?
Blast, you're right. Right, Sloan. I'm going to let you help me.
My lucky day.
You'll have to find me a German uniform. You may need a key, so I'll get a chap to place one in your hiding place. Now go. You've already jeopardized this mission enough.
What? You! How did you get in here? My God, is the Commandant here of this? Get out of here! Move! Schnell! And do not tell anybody you are here! Go! That is the last time you make a fool of me, Colonel. You are now confined to your quarters 24 hours a day. You will cause me no further headaches, I assure you.
No sign of Harding. I'll hold on here and give him a nice surprise.
What the devil?
Brought you some fresh towels, sir. Would you like your bed turned down?
You look familiar. Sloan, wasn't it?
Stone.
Shouldn't you be in London with those blueprints by now?
Change of plan. Decided I'm kind of partial to life behind bars.
Good God! You've turned this whole operation into a farce!
Hey, pal. If it wasn't for me, those plans would still be on General Stahl's desk.
And where are they now?
Probably on General Stahl's desk. I got patted down on the way in.
Unbelievable. Well, even if we still had the plans, there's no way they'd reach Whitehall in time. Damn. There's nothing else for it. I'm going to have to get back to Stalagsluft and decommission that rocket myself.
Break into a prison camp? I like that.
Now, out of my way. I've got to get cracking.
What, with your new pal out there watching your every move?
Blast, you're right. Right, Sloan. I'm going to let you help me.
My lucky day.
You'll have to find me a German uniform. You may need a key, so I'll get a chap to place one in your hiding place. Now go. You've already jeopardized this mission enough.
What? You! How did you get in here? My God, is the Commandant here of this? Get out of here! Move! Schnell! And do not tell anybody you are here! Go! That is the last time you make a fool of me, Colonel. You are now confined to your quarters 24 hours a day. You will cause me no further headaches, I assure you.
We've had the laundry watched for you, Stone. In case you haven't stumbled across it yet, it's located through the double doors in the southwest corner of Prisoner Courtyard West. Now, the best time to get across there would almost certainly be during morning exercise or afternoon free time, which is the only time Jerry doesn't object to us heading over that way. The laundry itself is on the ground floor of the building, on the right-hand side. Our man says it's pretty well guarded, but if you're careful, it should be possible to sneak in and swipe a German uniform. Should be nice and clean, too. We've spent your currency having the laundry scrutinized a little more closely. According to our chap, it's unlikely you'll be able to get in there without first arranging a distraction for the guards. Williams, Logan, or Baratti might help you here during morning exercise or afternoon free time. Alternatively, you could try breaking away from the other POWs after roll call. And a word of advice, Stone. It's likely there'll be a guard inside the laundry area itself. You'd be wise to check through the keyhole of the laundry door, the one that leads to our courtyard, to establish if this is the case. If it is, try to coincide your entry with his back being turned. All right, Stone. Once we'd paid him up, one of our men went and had a word with the guard who's currently keeping an eye on Harding. Turns out this fellow's name is Schliemann, and he's not exactly the sharpest bayonet in the armory. I reckon that if you put on the German uniform, once you'd found it, you'd be able to slip past the guard into Harding's barracks with very little trouble. And well, you never know. but Schliemann seems like the sort who likes to keep plenty of contraband to hand.
You wish to interrogate the prisoner? Or does the commandant think me so incompetent that he sends others to check on my performance? No matter, you will find the prisoner inside. Be careful, he is not to be trusted.
You took your time, Slan.
You better put this on. Hey, kind of suits you.
Right. Once I'm past the guard, I'll hide out in the castle and try to think of a way to get us both out of here.
Both?
You don't think I'm going to carry my own equipment, do you? Now, once I'm out of here, you get back to the escape committee and fill them in. May as well let them know about General Stahl's project. We need all the help we can get. I'll contact you through the EC as necessary. Alles ist in Ordnung.
Na klar. I hope you were cooperative with your guest, Colonel. What? You again? What trickery is this? The uniform! You swapped the uniform!
So, where is Colonel Harding now?
Hiding out someplace, working on an escape plan.
Ah, the two of you intend to taste freedom at last.
Not exactly. We're headed back to Stalag Luft.
Captain?
Yeah, it's kind of a long story. You see, Stalag Luft's being used to front a rocket research program.
Rocket research?
Long-range rockets. These things could change the course of the war.
Great Scott!
The program's headed up by a General Stahl.
Stahl?
Not a nice guy. Killed a good friend of mine. Harding just wants to shut the program down, but for me, it's kind of personal, too.
Major, we should do all we can to help the captain and the colonel.
Yes, absolutely. Hard to know where to start, though. All I'd suggest is, Captain, if you're planning to reach Stalag Luft cross-country, you'd best find some German travel papers. Dashed if I know where to look, though.
I'll ask around. Someone's gotta know.
9, 10, 11, 12. What? Only 12? One prisoner's missing. Harding. Where's prisoner Harding? I want Harding found immediately. If necessary, tear the castle apart. And bring Obergefreiter Schliemann to me. You bumbling, incompetent fool! Can you not perform even the simplest of duties? You are a disgrace to the uniform.
But, Herr Commandant, I can explain.
I am not interested in your excuses. Get him out of my sight. I will personally sign the papers for his transfer to the Russian front. Gentlemen, I assure you that prisoner Harding will be found and punished. You would do well not to follow his example.
The EC has had the chaps in the camp listening out for any gossip that might help us locate some travel papers. And it turns out that Harding's guard is being transferred from the castle after falling out with the commandant. We gather he's currently waiting for his transfer papers to be processed in the admin building. This is located beyond our mess hall and through the doors on the other side of the German mess hall. A little more fiscal persuasion has prized out an alternative route to the admin building. You might find this one more accessible. One of the chaps found an open manhole leading to the sewers and was prowling around when he practically tripped over a crowbar. Must have been left down there by a worker. The fellow would have retrieved it himself, but I'm sure you are aware of the difficulties of carrying such large items around the castle. Now, in my view, this crowbar would be ideal for jemmying open the door in the corridor adjacent to the kitchen. From what I gather, that should give you a clear route into Jerry's courtyard and onto the admin building where those papers are. The EC has had the chaps in the camp listening out for any gossip that might help us locate some travel papers. And it turns out that a guard has come down with something rather nasty. From what we can make out, the nurse here is unable to treat whatever it is he's picked up, so he's been transferred to a larger hospital. Now, the chances are he'll already have been issued with travel papers, so perhaps you'd be able to find them lying around somewhere nearby. Well, well, we've spent months trying to perfect some fake German travel documents, and you just waltz in here with a set of real ones.
Captain Stone, your friend Colonel Adding has passed to us a message. He has planned the escape route for you both. But the bad news, mon ami, is that the route, it runs through the sewers.
What's the problem with that?
Mon Dieu! The scent of this prison is sufficiently unpleasant above the ground. I do not envy your task, Captain.
I can see it is open, you fool! Close it immediately! Who is responsible for this? I want a full check on all the other manhole covers. Report back to me as soon as this is done. I will not tolerate such carelessness, especially when the general is arriving at any moment. Now put that tool somewhere safe.
If you're going to get down into those sewers, Stone, you'll need some way of lifting a manhole cover. Now, one of the men reckons he's seen a guard carrying a suitable tool into the German courtyard. So all you need to do is find a way over there. One route that's been suggested runs through the German mess hall, out via the admin building, and from there into the German courtyard. We've had a survey made of every manhole cover in the camp. The men counted 3, one in prisoner courtyard east, one in the mess hall kitchen, and a third in the German mess hall. Once you've found that manhole cover tool, I suggest you pick one of the 3 and make straight for it. Right. You'll find that your choice of entry point to the sewers determines the amount of sewage you'll have to cover once you're down there. This is important because according to Colonel Harding, the sewers are currently crawling with Jerry lieutenants who are overseeing some sort of construction work down there. So, although it might sound like an awful bind, your best bet might be the entrance in the German mess hall.
At last. I was about to give up on you. Right, Sloan, I've been thinking. To increase the chances of one of us making it back to Stalag Luft, we'd better split up.
Now that'd be a shame.
We'll regroup there and see what can be done about that rocket. And keep your wits about you, Captain. We can't afford any more mistakes.
You have been busy boys. Shame I gotta take away your toys.
Perhaps you would care to explain your definition of nearly complete, Commandant.
Herr General, I merely meant that.
Because to me, Commandant, that does not resemble a nearly complete rocket.
I admit progress has at times been a little slow, Herr General. But the prisoners have been so troublesome and...
Enough! The rocket will be launched on time!
Of course, Herr General.
And I will hear no more of your infantile excuses. I am sure I need not remind you of the personnel shortages currently being experienced on the Eastern Front, Commandant.
Afraid you picked a bad time to visit, General.
Get back to your duties.
Stay right where you are. Commandant, an intruder!
Who are you? How dare you enter my... Wait a minute. The American escapee. Obergefreiter, I thought this prisoner has been transferred to Colditz.
He was, Herr Commandant.
Then what? How?
I decided the food's better here.
Take this man to be interrogated. No, wait! If the General hears of this... Oh, put him with the other prisoners. I do not have time for this now.
Change of plan. Thought I'd come back and do the job myself.
And not a moment too soon, Stone. We really have to talk.
You already contacted London?
Discovered a little loophole in the Stalag Luft Postal Service. We studied the postie's route around the German compound and pinpointed a moment when he left his bag unattended. Found we had just long enough to slip in an outgoing letter or pick up an incoming one.
So help's on the way, huh?
Not quite. SOE has requested some more intelligence on the facilities here, so they know exactly where to focus their efforts. They're sending a parcel containing some of the kit we'll need.
Let's guess. You want me to grab the package from the mailman?
It's a bit trickier than that. Jerry rumbled our little ruse yesterday, and our postman's been given the sack, so to speak. Now the guards pick up their own letters from the post room. That's where the parcel's going to be, and we've to reach it before anyone else does. Feeling adventurous?
My middle name.
Splendid. Oh, and Major, didn't you have a present for the captain?
Here, Captain. One of our men managed to fabricate this.
A catapult?
A man of your resourcefulness should be able to find a use for it. As you will no doubt already have established, Captain, the post room lies in a small compound directly south of the Commandant's building. We sent a scout to observe the guards in this area. He reports that one guard patrols directly outside the building and also warned that the compound is clearly visible from the nearby guard's tower. Inquiries among the prisoners revealed that one man recalls hiding a lockpick in what was formerly the escape committee's hut. The area containing this building has since become the German storage compound. After further prompting, the man remembered hiding a lockpick under the floor. The building is now in a state of disrepair and the floor is likely to be covered in rubble. But if you can find that lockpick, it might just be the ticket for getting into the post room. It is strange that you appear to be struggling, Captain. For what with the incentive of your currency, a scout was able to enter the compound containing the post room with a little difficulty. Approaching the compound at night, the man found a hole in the wall leading to the compound. There is a truck parked in front of the hole, but he was able to crawl beneath it. Once the man was into the compound, he used other vehicles for cover while observing the guards. He did not have the luxury of the catapult you now carry, Captain, so he was unable to disable the searchlight opposite the post room door. Nor was he able to fire stones at barrels to distract the patrolling guards. And alas, He did not carry a lockpick and was therefore unable to enter the post room and retrieve the parcel himself. He did suggest, however, that once inside the room, it might be possible to fire stones through the window at the crates outside to create a further distraction. There is nothing inside apart from this camera, sir.
Shame. I was hoping for some more chockies. What does the note say?
I will attempt to decode it, sir. One moment, please. SOE requests photographs of the rocket itself, and also of Mother Goose? Ah, of course, the launching gantry.
Sounds fair enough.
They also suggest we search for documents that might help to pinpoint any weakness in the rocket's design.
Good show. So, all we need to do now is infiltrate that facility.
Why's everyone looking at me?
Captain, it is imperative that you get a clear photograph of the rocket without any obstructions.
And once that's done, why not have a sniff around for those documents? Oh, and keep this under your hat, but some of the chaps have been working on another tunnel. There's still a long way to go, but the initial section might still come in handy. Good luck, Stone.
We have had the research facility observed, Captain, and security is inevitably tight. There is only one entrance to the facility area, and our scout believes that it would be impossible to get past the sentry outside without first disguising oneself as a German guard. You should be able to acquire a suitable uniform from the German store, which lies between our compound and the storage compound. Our scout noted that he approached the area by climbing over a wall to the rear of the laundry. Our men have been placing themselves in further peril on your behalf, Captain. This time a scout approached the facility itself and explored what he believes to be the only viable route into the building, a series of ladders leading up to the roof. At the top of the first ladder is a gantry. You will need to avoid the guard who patrols this gantry in order to reach the second ladder that leads to the roof. The scout was then able to clearly observe the rocket from the eastern side of the roof. I would suggest, Captain, that you take your photograph from here. The man also noted a trapdoor, which he believes might provide an entry into the building. Really, Captain? We entrust you with the future of Western civilization, and yet you continually fail where a humble orderly succeeds. Now, the upper floor of the facility is patrolled by a lieutenant, whom our scout was able to avoid by using various items of furniture as cover. A set of stairs then leads down to the lower floor where the safe is contained. Many guards patrol the lower floor, and our scout was compelled to conceal himself behind the supporting pillars. He then located the safe in a controlled room at the rear of the facility. He was able to pick the lock on the safe, which should still be open, but was forced to retreat without the documents when a guard smelt his aftershave and became suspicious.
How about the fuel tanks? If we punched a hole in one of those, the wretched thing might simply blow itself up on the launch pad.
It probably would, sir. But how do you suggest we make that hole?
Look, there's got to be some way to disable this thing. What's that bit of paper there?
Test schedule for V5 rocket program.
Let me have a look at that. Launch date. Heavens above! That gives us absolutely no time at all!
Then how will we...
Wait. Target. Good God! London!
Wing Commander, what do you suggest we do?
We've got no choice, Major. We'll never get that thing knocked out in time. We'll have to switch to Plan B.
Plan B?
Plan B, Captain, is to contact London and have Bomber Command reduce this whole place to rubble.
I see. One question, fellas.
Yes?
The Krauts built their rocket site in the middle of a POW camp so our guys wouldn't go dropping explosives on it, right?
We believe that's correct, yes.
So...
Ah, I see. Major, how's that tunnel coming along?
Work is proceeding well, sir. We should soon be able to organize the mass evacuation of the prisoners. The tunnel currently extends beneath the German compound, and I will arrange for an exit into that area to be constructed tonight.
All ready for Captain Stone to use. Jolly good. To reach the radio room, of course. Oh, do try and keep up, Stone.
We have not sufficient time to contact London by post, Captain, so you will have to use the German radio transmitter. It is in a building within the German compound. As we explained, Captain, the escape tunnel now reaches beneath the German compound. We have added an extra exit that emerges into the store within the compound. We sent a man through this exit to perform a reconnoiter of the interior courtyard. He reports that it is heavily patrolled, so you should exercise caution when leaving the store. The German compound is a self-contained area of the camp, which the Germans use when off duty. It contains a kitchen, a mess hall, a barracks, an office, an officer's quarters, and an administration room. This last building is where you will find the door leading to the radio room. By watching the routines of the senior officers in the camp, we have established the most likely sources of a German lieutenant's uniform. First, there is the officers' quarters within the German compound. The entrance to the officers' quarters lies at the top of a stairway beside the mess hall. However, the door is kept locked. You will need to retrieve an iron key from a hook outside the barracks in the courtyard below. If this proves too much of a challenge for you, Captain, you may also be able to find a lieutenant's uniform in the laundry in the main compound, to the south of the post room. However, the laundry is also kept locked, this time with a steel key. It is possible that with a little persuasion, you might be able to obtain such a key from one of the guards. The radio room is occupied at all times by a German officer. As he is of considerable rank and experience, he is not likely to be fooled by any disguise you might be wearing. You will therefore have to ensure he leaves the room before you can use the radio to contact SOE. At great risk to himself, our scout observed the radio room and discovered to his surprise that some of the other guards are given to playing practical jokes on this officer. Of particular interest was one game involving a nearby fuse box. By meddling with the fuses, the guards are able to power down the radio while the officer is using it, affording themselves much amusement. When this happens, the officer generally goes into the courtyard through the administration room and enters the office to examine the fuse box. Were you to use the fuse box in the same way, you might be able to lure the officer from the room, providing you with the opportunity to enter the administration room and thereafter the radio room. But to get past the other guards in the administration room, you would need to ensure you were disguised as a lieutenant.
30 meters of copper tubing, 12 square meters of fine titanium mesh, and 4 gyroscopes. We also require some of those little screws. Do you know the tiny little ones with the... hello? Hello? Are you still receiving? Hello? Hello? Come in, Berlin. Hello? Ach, mein Gott, not again! Who keeps meddling with that fuse box? When I find out, I will have him flogged!
Come in, Field Mouse. Come in, Field Mouse. This is Early Bird. Come in, Field Mouse. Are you there? Wake up! Field Mouse! Come in, Field Mouse. This is Early Bird. Starting to get just a little grouchy.
This is Field Mouse. Sorry about that, but the kettle was just boiling.
Field Mouse, the message is, let slip the dogs. You got that?
Sorry,
Let slip the dogs. Repeat, let slip the dogs. Can't believe I'm actually saying this stuff.
Sorry, early bird, there's a terrible din outside. Would you mind awfully seeing that again?
Look, Field Mouse, the Krauts are about to launch a rocket the size of Virginia right into your backyard. Are you gonna do something about it, or do I have to come over there and fly those bombers back myself?
Understood, early bird. Dogs are on their way. Now you'd better get yourselves out of there sharpish. Field Mouse out.
Splendid work, Stone. Now, Major, how are we doing with that tunnel?
We are just centimeters from the surface, sir.
Good. Good. Have the chaps ready to move as soon as we hear those air raid sirens.
Most of the men are now in the tunnel, sir.
All right. Probably best if you go next, Stone.
Lieutenant, round up the men and get them to the shelter.
Very good, sir.
No! You would let all our months of work be wasted? We will bring forward the launch.
But, Herr General, the men...
Lieutenant, get everyone back to their posts. The rocket will be prepared for launch immediately.
Yes, General.
I hope you got your measurements right, fellas. If this thing comes out in the Commandant's bathroom, I'm not gonna be happy.
Looks like they're trying to get that thing off the ground before the bombs start landing, sir.
Bother. I'm afraid we might have blown it, chaps.
You guys go ahead. I'll see what I can do to keep that rocket grounded.
No, Stone. You've done enough already. We'll just have to...
Go.
But the...
Before I change my mind.
Very well, Stone. But the minute those bombs start raining down, you make a run for it. Rocket or no rocket. Major, can we give the captain any help at all?
Yes, sir. Captain, further study of the documents you recovered revealed that to abort the launch, 2 control keys will be required. One must be inserted into a control panel at ground level, and the other into a control panel on the floor above. You should find the keys beside their respective control panels. Good luck, Captain.
Don't take any unnecessary chances, Stone. Do you hear?
Vier, 3, 2, 1. Es hat abheben!
What is wrong? Why is the launch not proceeding?
We are looking into it, Herr General.
Looking into it? My rocket stands idle and you are looking into it?
We are doing all we can.
Oh, is that right? Get that rocket into the air, Commandant!
This could be the end of a beautiful friendship.
Sir, we really have to leave now.
I will count to 3, Commandant. 1, 2... My rocket! You will all be shot for this! Prepare my car. We will leave immediately for Colditz. This temporary setback will not affect the continuation of our research beneath the castle.
Beneath the castle? Right behind you, General.
General Stahl, what a wonderful surprise. It is always a pleasure to welcome.
Silence! How dare you speak of pleasure when my rocket lies in pieces?
Pieces, General? I don't understand.
How dare you pretend you have not heard? That idiot who runs Stalag Luft may as well have called in the bombers himself.
This is grave news indeed, Herr General. But perhaps I can offer something to at least partially alleviate the pain. Guard?
You!
Please, Herr General, I mean to say, we have not yet debriefed the prisoner.
You stole my plans from Stalag Luft. You somehow arranged the destruction of my rocket, and now, Englander, you will pay the price.
Given the chance, General, I'd have strapped you to that rocket and lit the touch paper.
Herr General!
What is the meaning of this? Wait a minute. I remember you. You were in Stalag Luft. So, you tried to escape in my car? Only to end up inadvertently transferring yourself straight into another prison camp. This is most amusing. Is that not amusing, Commandant?
What should I do with this man, Herr General?
Oh, take him to join the others inside and give him extra rations. He has brightened up my day considerably.
And prisoner Harding, Herr General?
Throw him in the cooler. I will deal with him later.
Ah, it is of course most agreeable to be reacquainted with you, Captain Stone. But it grieves me to think that a man of your courage is likely to spend the rest of the war behind bars.
I bust out of this place once. Don't see why I couldn't do it again.
Might not be quite that simple, Stone. You see, Jerry seems to have rather upped the ante.
Oh, yeah?
We've concocted one scheme after another and planned them in meticulous detail.
Merely for us to be foiled by the Germans each time at the penultimate moment.
Only fellow to make any sort of headway was the SOE chap, Harding. Decided to go it alone. Didn't seem to trust anyone. Wouldn't even tell us what he was up to. Just kept disappearing off up into the attic above the chapel.
The attic, huh? Guess I could go check it out.
Indeed, Captain. Colonel Harding has been removed from the picture, but we might perhaps salvage something of his work, no?
Mum's the word, though, eh, Stone? We're not quite sure who can be trusted just now. As you'll be aware, Stone, Jerry keeps the library out of bounds. They've done so ever since they discovered the prisoners were tearing pages out of the books and using them to construct papier-mâché heads to place on their pillows during escape attempts. They lock the door with a brass key. Using your currency, we had a man sniff around Jerry's compound in search of this key. He established that it's usually kept in the administration office. Your currency stone bought as a little reconnoiter of the library. A man managed to slip in behind a patrol and watch the routes the guards take. Most of them seem to remain in the library itself. Once you're beyond that, you should find it pretty quiet. Then, to make your way to the attic, you'll probably need to use the maintenance walkways. Right, Stone. We've had a fellow take another look at those guards around the library, and it appears as though the longer shifts they've been working lately have been taking their toll. According to our man, one guard in particular seems to be in the habit of nodding off at his post during the night shift, which follows evening roll call and runs until morning roll call. This might therefore be the optimum time to make your move.
Whoa. Harding might be short on manners, but he's sure got a few tricks up his sleeve. Wait till I tell the escape committee boys about this.
A glider? You must be imagining things.
I know my airplanes, Major, and this one looked pretty real to me.
Well, I'll be blowed. Old Harding, eh? You're a pilot, Captain Stone. In your opinion, would this glider be airworthy?
It could use a little more work. The wings want bracing properly, the rudder needs a control cable, and there's some fabric missing from one of the wings. But yeah, I reckon she'd fly.
Remarkable. If we could get this thing in the air, it'd be the escape story of the century.
I agree. Colonel Harding's efforts should not have been in vain. Captain, do what you can to finish this aircraft, but a word of caution. The Germans' recent success in foiling our plans leads us to just one conclusion, that we have been infiltrated by a spy.
You don't say.
Your first priority should be to establish the name of the man who betrays us. We assume he must report his findings to the Commandant in his quarters. This should give you a chance to identify him. Also, Captain, we require proof to show the other men. Do you know how to use a camera?
Are you kidding? Reconnaissance is a specialty of mine.
Right, Stone. You'll already know, of course, that the Commandant's quarters is over in Jerry's section, up a flight of stairs. We've had a fellow take a look at the door to see if one could take a snap of their spy in action through the keyhole, but apparently the hole's simply too small. You'll need to find another way of getting a look into that room, other than the door. According to our recce, your best view into the Commandant's quarters will probably be from his balcony above Jerry's compound. How you're going to get up there, though, is another matter. We've had a study done of that balcony, Stone. Now, I'm not as fit as I used to be, but I reckon that if one could find the right moment, it could be possible to use Harding's grappling device to haul oneself up there. Of course, there are no guards on the balcony itself. It's unlikely they'd expect such an acrobatic feat to be attempted, but patrols do, unfortunately, cover the area of the courtyard beneath the balcony. You'll therefore need to find a way to draw the guards' attention away from the balcony. Our man mentioned there's something nearby that you could throw stones at, and being a thorough sort of chap, he also identified a nearby source of stones.
And this prisoner has been distilling the substance himself.
That is correct, Herr Commandant. But after I alerted the guards, his equipment was removed and destroyed.
Excellent work, Captain Zimmermann. Oh, and, did you by any chance discover who defaced my photograph of Otto?
Yes, Herr Commandant. The culprit is...
What is the meaning of this? Collusion with the prisoners? Guards, arrest both these men!
One moment, Herr General. It is not how it seems. This man is one of us.
Explain.
With your permission, Herr Commandant. I was just reporting to the Commandant that the prisoners have been illicitly supplementing their rations with scrapings from the officers' dustbins. And also, that one man has been manufacturing a forbidden beverage in his barracks. Jolly devious, what?
Well, Commandant, if those are the worst of the prisoners' crimes, perhaps security at Colditz is not so bad as I had feared.
Indeed, Herr General. Since we placed prisoner Harding in solitary confinement, we have had little, if any, trouble.
Harding. I want that man watched at all times. If he so much as sneezes out of turn, he is to be shot.
With respect, Herr General, to execute a British officer without due cause would be...
Commandant, would you rather he wandered freely into the laboratories beneath the castle and sent phase 2 of the program up in flames as well?
Of course not, Herr General.
Sir, there was one other thing. I noticed a prisoner leaving the authorized area and moving in a furtive manner above the library. I took the liberty of photographing the incident and have the film here.
Probably just harmless mischief. We will tighten security around the library.
It is all on this film, sir.
Oh, give it to me.
We won't let on to Crown that we've blown his cover just yet. But we'll warn the other prisoners to watch what they say around him. I thought that fellow smelt a bit fishy. Never liked the cut of his jib.
And that ain't all. The general said something about more laboratories under the castle.
Oh, this is most interesting. Oh, I suspected we had not seen the last of General Stahl's scientific ambitions. Oh, Captain, you must finish the glider with all haste, and then see what you can discover in the foundations of Colditz.
We've had this steel key made up for you, Stone. It might prove useful. Although getting a look at that lab is a priority, Stone, we'd suggest you get the glider completed first. If you discover anything down there, and General Stahl hears you've been sniffing around, he's likely to tear this whole place apart. Now, as for getting the job done, I've had a chat with old Doc Winters and requested he talk to some of the other prisoners to see who's most on the ball. So if you're stuck for glider parts, he'll be able to point you towards the right people. Our scouts have noticed a lot of unusual Jerry activity around a boiler room on the other side of the castle. Now, either there's a major problem with the heating in the Commandant's quarters, or there's more to that room than there appears. From what our chaps are saying, we're now convinced that boiler room provides access to some sort of lab where Stahl's rocket research is continuing. And it's a good job we gave you that steel key. Apparently it'll get you into that boiler room. If you've managed to run into trouble with the guards and lost the key, the guard in the chapel most likely has a replacement. But Stone, although you're probably itching to investigate that lab, do make sure you're happy with that glider first. We'd hate to see it left on the ground. Exciting news, Stone. The chap we sent to investigate the boiler room managed to pull off something of a coup. One of the guards left his jacket unattended near the door, and our man managed to retrieve some documents from the pocket. We now know for sure that there is indeed rocket research going on beneath Colditz, and by the sound of it, it's proceeding at rather a faster rate than some of the scientists are comfortable with. According to the technical report we translated, Stahl's making them push some of their equipment to the very limit, and there are worries that the slightest mistake could be catastrophic. What we suggest, Stone, is that if you can get into that lab, you try to make just such a mistake. From what we've read, there's some very finely tuned apparatus down there, all controlled from one main panel. So by playing around with the buttons, you could probably wreak havoc. And there's more, Stone. We've had another fellow poking around in the sewers. He's managed to find the entrance to the lab down there. Finally, we weren't surprised to learn that the lab is very heavily guarded. To get in and out of there safely, You're going to need to use all the skill you've acquired while sneaking around Colditz. Now, I don't need to remind you what's at stake here, Stone. So, I'll merely wish you the best of luck.
That should just about do it. Whoops.
Hände hoch! Hände hoch! Schnell!
If not Harding, then who?
We have reviewed the records of all the prisoners and singled out a second inmate. This man was present first during the stealing of the plans from Stalag Luft, and then again during the destruction of the rocket.
Probably just a coincidence. Harding is the one behind all this. I know it.
General, there is one other thing. This second prisoner was involved in an escape from Colditz, which was not reported.
What?
The prisoner was recaptured near Stalag Luft and later admitted there. It was recorded as a routine transfer from Colditz, so that, General, as you are aware, this castle has previously had an unblemished record. And,
You covered this up?
If I may, General, the picture I took above the library has been developed.
What? This cannot be.
The prisoner's name is Stone.
I will settle your fate later, Commandant.
It is overheating!
I cannot stabilize it!
Pull the lever, you idiot!
Friedrich, get outside. The Commandant said I would be shot if I left my post.
The Commandant has changed his mind. He has called an emergency briefing in the courtyard. Quickly, come!
Is this getting easier? Or am I just getting better?
It's reaching critical! I don't like this! In your eyes, a yellow button! Where are the instructions?
It is no good! It can no longer be stopped!
Wait a minute. Where did the American go?
Never mind that! Everybody, get out! This thing is about to explode!
Prisoner Stone must be found and arrested at any cost. Is that understood?
General! The rocket!
It has gone critical!
We tried to stop it!
Sorry, Herr General!
Cancel that last order. Return to your posts. Captain Stone is to be shot on sight.
Was it something I said? Better get to the glider.
Nice handiwork, Stone. I'd love to know where you found the cable to rig up the rudder.
You got room for one more?
I may have built this thing, Captain, but you're the airman. Jump in.
Did you really think I was unaware of your little hobby, Captain Stone?
Guess I should thank Sergeant Crown, or should I say, Captain Zimmerman.
Yes, yes. So pathetically trustworthy, you Americans. You honestly thought you could create such a disturbance, make so much noise with your grand schemes that we would not notice? No, Americans, there will be no more prison camps, no more days in the cooler. For all the trouble you have caused, you will die.
Trouble? You have no idea what trouble is, Stahl. Let me tell you something. There's only one person dying here today, and it ain't me or Harding.
Ha! So confident! But you forget it is I who has the gun, and not you, my friend.
I know all about your damn gun, Stahl. It's the same one you used to kill my buddy, and I ain't your friend.
Your buddy? Ah, yes, I remember. He was a poor excuse for a soldier to attempt to run from me at Stalag Luft, wasn't he? Tell me, you did order him to stay? No matter. I will tell you this also. As I aim this gun you love so much at his head, he begged me to spare his life. No dignity.
Go, Stone. I'll never make it in this state. But go. There are more ways out of here than this, Stone. Honestly, did you really think we told you everything? Huh.
Crazy Brit. So long, Harding. Good luck. That was for you, JD, my friend. Now, where did you say those Fräuleins were at?
Good morning, gentlemen. I am delighted to see you all so eager to face the day. Dismissed! Good evening, gentlemen. I hope you all had a pleasant day. Dismissed!
You Americans just have to do things the hard way.
This time you were lucky, Captain. Think twice before irritating the guards again.
Good morning, gentlemen. It appears you are all present and correct. Dismissed. Good evening, gentlemen. I am pleased to see you are all here. Dismissed.
Perhaps this will teach you some respect.
Must you keep disobeying the guards? You may not be so lucky next time.
Excellent. I see I have trained the guards well. They say it is to be another cold night, gentlemen. Bad luck. Excellent. I see I have trained the guards well. They say it is to be another cold night, gentlemen. Bad luck.
You see, we are not as stupid as you prisoners seem to think.
It is a pity to see such a fine physique mistreated in this way, Captain.
Good morning, gentlemen. I hope you all had a pleasant night's sleep. Good evening, gentlemen. You are truly a credit to the Reich.
And no singing this time.
I am beginning to tire of patching you up, Captain.
Wakey, wakey, gentlemen. Let us all be on our best behavior once again today. I am delighted that you all conducted yourselves so admirably today. Let us keep it that way.
Let us hope you're not afraid of the dark, Captain.
Captain, I'm beginning to wonder if you do this just to see me.